Um, to be honest, after those extraordinary presentations and Mohit's closing remarks, I think anything I say will be superfluous. After hearing all of that, I also had the same wish that Vineet expressed, that if I could live my education career over again, I would want to be a CMGGA. The only difficulty is I don't think I'd be admitted to this program. I don't have that much talent. But honestly, congratulations, first of all, to this CMGGA class. I say this without prejudice to any other group and any other group of students in Ashoka, but you truly have been inspirational for all of us, I think, in ways that were the most surprising, the most unexpected, and extraordinarily consequential. And as an institution, we are deeply grateful to you for giving us the experience of engaging with you and of seeing what change is possible. I mean, at one level, I think the CMGGA story is not just a story about personal transformations, which you heard about, and it is a profound personal transformation in many different ways. In fact, I'm personally beginning to think that I think for public policy schools, I think this is a model to be studied about how to actually do public policy education, as opposed to what some of us were pretending we should be doing. It's not just a story of a collaboration between two institutions, a university and the government of Haryana. In some ways, I think it's a unique window on almost all the critical governance challenges of our time. I think one of the great geniuses of the CMGGA program, and I think, you know, it's a tribute to the vision behind it, that it has focused on the district level. I mean, the DC's office is arguably the most critical frontline office in development. It is the office most in need of support. And it is truly extraordinary what a little marginal support, what one CMGGA in that office, despite all the trials, tribulations, frustrations that occasionally experience, what a little bit of marginal support to that office can do for the transformation of governance. It's a demonstration that a philosophical paradigm shift in governance is possible. I mean, I think underlying almost all the stories you saw were attempts to really shift the paradigm from governance from vertical accountability, where governance is concerned more with internal hierarchies rather than citizens, to horizontal accountability, where citizen interface becomes the most important, from secrecy to transparency, right? From technocracy to public participation, from low capacity state to a high capacity state, right? From a state whose processes are not infused with local knowledge to a state where knowledge processes get infused with the state, right? And in miniature, I think it is an extraordinary story of how do you get the Indian state to actually make that transition, right? And the place to begin with that transition is at the district level, and through creating partnerships, as Mohit very rightly said, in ways that are not encumbered by any of the conventional hierarchies, motivations that we actually know of. It deploys intrinsic motivation rather than incentives in an unprecedented way. And it's created a unique organizational form, which has the capacity to flexibly deploy whoever is needed, whenever they are needed, in what context, right? Without the encumbrances of, you might say, a formal Weberian bureaucracy. So in all those organizational ways, I think it is a model worth studying, and we are grateful to the associates for, in some senses, you know, I think energizing us. I just want to close by thanking a few people without whom CMGGA would not be possible. First of all, the Chief Minister of Haryana. I have to say, in my years of watching politicians, and you know, whatever our disagreements with politicians and so forth, I have not seen a public functionary who has spent so much time with young associates in a way that is deeply engaged. I mean, think of what it means for a chief minister to spend 3 to 4 hours every 5 to 6 weeks, right, with a group of young 20-year-olds. I've witnessed a couple of these meetings, and the depth and level of engagement has been truly remarkable. So we are grateful to the CM of Haryana for his faith in the program and for, I think, institutionalizing. And it's not about the particular CM, but really, in some senses, I think, transcending again the usual hierarchies of sort of, Chief Minister talking directly to 20-year-olds. We are deeply, deeply grateful. Another person who deserves special mention, Vineet already mentioned it, is, of course, Dr. Rakesh Gupta. The depth of Dr. Rakesh Gupta's engagement with the program you already heard about. But he is engaged with it not just as a civil servant trying to effect transformations in governance, but from what I have seen of him in the course of his engagement with the program, he really has been a pedagogue and teacher of sorts as well, in terms of, I think, constantly probing, right, what the underlying principles of what the program were trying to do, what the associates were trying to achieve. And in that sense, when we think of academia-government partnership, this is also an instance of a government official reaching out, and in a sense, donning an academic role, I think, in a very unusual kind of way. We are deeply grateful to you. And we are deeply grateful to the 22 DCs and all the government offices for hosting the CMGGAs. This is one of the most overburdened offices in any system of government. And yes, it is true the CMGGAs were helping them, but it was very natural for any government official to say, look, an associate probably might mean more work. Even if they come up with good ideas, it might mean more work for us. But they all not only welcomed the associates, but really have, in a sense, facilitated them to do what they could do best, rather than trying to simply assimilate them into their conventional modes of thinking. There's a few partners we'd like to thank. I think they were already mentioned in some of the presentations, without whom the funding for specific programs, the scaling up of specific programs would not have been possible. The Bharti Foundation, to whom this program owes a lot. CSBC, UNDP, UNICEF, Relaxo, and Intel. You have been extraordinary partners in this program, and again demonstrating how the well-judged help at the right time can really have marginal impact, beyond what anybody could have imagined, and we hope to continue to engage with you. I'd also like to acknowledge, of course, the admin team at Ashoka, always behind the program. I won't name them all individually. Some Ashoka faculty members who have reached out and engaged with the program, who are beginning to see enormous research potential in the program. I'd like to begin by mentioning Professor Hariharan, who's leading the Ashoka Quest program, another undergraduate part of the undergraduate curriculum at Ashoka. But there is going to be a lot of thinking about how Ashoka sort of leverages the extraordinary experience and success of the CMGGA program, and to share its benefits widely, I think, with a larger student group. And Ashoka Quest is going to be one of the programs that will help us do that. Professor Meghna Agarwal, Aparajita Dasgupta, and Madhvi Majanti, who have all embarked on research projects that are coming out of CMGGA concerns. And one of the, I think, heartening things you'll see over the next 5 to 7 years is, I think, as researchers at Ashoka begin to realize that Haryana itself is such an extraordinary laboratory of social change and governance change. Something that needs to be studied, something that in some senses could generate a new kind of social science. And I think without the catalyzation of CMGGA, you would not have the interest of a lot of top-class faculty in Ashoka and across the world. I think Pradeep Chibbar at the University of Berkeley, who's beginning to work on projects in Haryana. So I think you'll begin to see first-class social science work also coming out of Haryana in the next couple of years. And the last thank yous are to two sets of people who are truly extraordinary. Samagra, Gaurav Goyal. Just watching Gaurav during the course of the year has been a treat. And his entire team, Abhinav, Ankit, Avantika, and Naval. Gaurav, very calmly and very methodically, right? I mean, he makes dealing with contradictions and challenges sound so easy. You've been such a calm and reassuring voice for CMGGA. And finally, the Ashoka team at CMGGA, Professor Jitendra Khanna, who's been the research lead and really trying to help us conceptualize the deeper foundations of this program. Itika Gupta, Deputy Manager, and of course Shivani Saxena, without whom nothing would happen at CGA. Particularly want to acknowledge this team for its truly extraordinary work, and also welcome Amit Kumar, who's joining the CMGGA team. But finally, in closing, congratulations to this class of CMGGA graduates. And we know this experience. The University of Ashoka University and the state of Haryana are never going to leave you wherever you go. So, but as somebody once said, what's the point of developing roots if you can't actually take them with you? So we hope you will take Ashoka and Haryana with you wherever you go. Congratulations and best wishes. So,